Okay. So the first video, all we just did is to take the one period of this repeating pattern. We just take one period of this repeating pattern, we create it, and then we are ready with the profile that we are going to extrude to make this rectangular body. And then we already also done the cross section of the profile that we're going to sweep through that path is the cross section of this pipe. We've already gotten that ready. And it is for us now to make sure that we replicate the path and we do pattern replication of the path to complete it and bring the air streams out so that the water or any fluid that we're using to cool can come in and something can also go out there. So that's what we're going to do. In order to continue, we're going to take the next video, which is the one that will now help us to create the hollow. First of all, we are going to do a hollow boring through the wall, and then we are going to put a pipe through that same wall. We need to be very careful the way we do it so that one solid will not just be entering the other, because you have to be very careful in your graphics that the graphics is realistic. If a situation where you have one solid occupying the same space as the another solid shows clearly there is a graphical error. And that graphical error you will pay for that if you do simulation, because your simulation software will not be able to understand what you are doing. And so it's better for you to do the things right to start with. So let us go straight away to the second video, unless if there are any questions. I'm watching the chat room. At any point, if there's any question, please don't hesitate to ask, because before I go to the next one, I'm going to answer your questions. And then after we have finished that, I will show you the second slide. So I can see a comment here now. How do you know you have to draw a circle on the XY plane? Good question. That is Olarinde Ali. How do you know you have to draw a circle on the XY plane? Okay, so let me just take a fresh page, a fresh drawing on 360 and try to explain that. Let's see, am I on my Fusion 360? Okay, so what we are saying here is this. Let us say you have, let us even look at a very funny drawing. Suppose I create a sketch here. Let us say I create a sketch on the, suppose I create a sketch on the XY plane. I create a sketch on the XY plane, and on the XY plane, I do some lines. Or let it not even be lines, let it be curved path. Suppose I take a curved path. Okay. So if I'm happy with that, so this is a curved path on the XY plane. So if I'm happy with that, I can say, I can end that sketch. So finish sketch. So that is a sketch. And I can still open this, I can come again and say create another sketch. Now, if this thing is already on the XY plane, if I want to create something that passes through, if I want to create something that passes through this to make a pipe, for instance, I have to select something I have to select something along the path and on the plane that is perpendicular to it at the point in question. So if this is already on the XY plane, then at that point, I will have to choose something on the YZ plane, because what is important is that if the drawing itself is on the XY plane, then the perpendicular path to it that will give us the profile that can be swept through this must be perpendicular to it. So it has, in this particular case now, it has to be on this YZ plane. So it is not that you must use XY plane, and it is that you must get your profile on a plane such that it is perpendicular to the path you are trying to sweep. So that is how sweep works. If you want to create a sweep, the profile plane must be perpendicular to the path plane. That is the only way the thing can be swept along. I think by the time we look at the next, video, and you see how the sweep is done, it may be clearer. So let us go.